Kirk Frost's life completely collapsed when Rasheeda was discovered red-handed kissing another man in a poorly lit Miami hotel suite. Every second was recorded by the cameras. 217A. The M. Sneaking inside room 1427 is the M, the love and hip-hop queen. The M in the security footage that was made public this evening. The M. A towering, enigmatic man who appeared to be a linebacker and was most obviously not her spouse tangled her hand. A few minutes later, his veins protruding from his neck and his fists clenched, Kirk himself stormed into the same corridor like an obsessed man. The entire Atlanta ensemble was taken aback by what transpired inside that suite. Furthermore, some people have already declared on social media that Rasheeda and Kirk's romance is finished. According to some people close to the couple, Kirk abruptly left after receiving a mysterious tip from a purported buddy. The door frame cracked from the power of his kick. Rasheeda stood awkwardly near this stranger in the dimly lit room with empty champagne bottles, her hands still on her waist, her hair disheveled, her dress sliding down one shoulder. Kirk's yell reverberated across the hallway. "Rasheeda, are you really treating me like this?" The man attempted to move forward after all of this, but Kirk gave him such a forceful shove that he struck the minibar. Glasses broke. Rasheeda shouted out now, tears running down her cheeks, and pleaded with Kirk to pay attention. However, the harm had already been done. The phones began to ring. The group chat was going crazy with Mimi, Erica, and Scrappy. The whole Love and Hip Hop family descended into anarchy in a couple of minutes. Fans are shocked to see the uncensored video that is making the rounds online. It was discovered that the lady who had established an empire with Kirk, and who had always preached loyalty in the face of every public humiliation, dishonesty, and side chick problem was falling in the most horrible way. Kirk's expression at that moment was a mixture of volcanic wrath and sheer sadness. His eyes showed all. This went beyond simple dishonesty. It appeared to be a kind of retaliation. However, the true question that is currently dividing everyone is why. For Rasheeda, everything was lost. But why? And when the cameras resume, what will Kirk do? Because this isn't just another disagreement. It's nuclear. Their businesses, their families, and everything they have achieved together may all be lost right now. The video we're going to show you is only the beginning, my love. Are you really treating me this way, Rasheeda? Screaming for all we created, the kids, the companies, and the assurances you made about everything, Kirk Frost stormed through the door like a raging tornado. Rasheeda stood in that Miami hotel suite, her clothes only half buttoned. While the guy was still holding her waist, Rasheeda tried to shove him away. She begged Kirk, "Please, baby, it is not what it looks like," as tears filled her eyes. However, Kirk was already shoving the man so forcefully that he crashed into the wall, shattering a light and sending glass flying. The stranger yelled out, "Who the heck are you, man?" "I am her husband, the person she had been lying to for months," declared Kirk. Kirk lost his mind. Rasheeda continued, frantically contacting every employee at Love and Hip Hop in Atlanta. However, Mimi was the first to contact and inquire, "What did you do this time? You must come assist me. Everyone knows that since you said that your most recent trip to New York was solely for business, Kirk has been suspicious." However, fans are immediately flooding the comments with shocking recordings after photos of you laughing uncontrollably with Marcus, a fitness instructor who, as everyone knows, has been texting you directly for weeks, surfaced. They compare this to all of Kirk's previous scandals and assert that Rasheeda was finally caught doing what he had been doing to her for years. "Do you really think I didn't know about the secret hotel arrangements and late hours, the way you've been smiling at your phone like I'm a moron?" Gasping for breath, Kirk walked the room while speaking, and Rasheeda shot back, "If you weren't always withdrawing to your side pieces, I might not need attention from someone who actually pays attention to me." For Kirk, that was like a punch. He came to a complete stop and fixed her with an intense stare that hurt more than any quarrel they've ever seen on television since it was genuine this time. Their empire seemed to be coming to an end this time. At one point, Kirk ran out of the suite and slammed the door so forcefully that it reverberated down the hallway, while Rasheeda was sobbing alone on the bed while Marcus tried to console her. The family disintegrated as a result of their kids calling, sobbing, and asking whether their parents were ending their relationship forever. She shoved him away and yelled, "This was a mistake. You have to go immediately. An enormous error that might cost me everything." For an additional month, Kirk sat in his rented car outside and squeezed the steering wheel until his knuckles turned white, reliving the image of his hands on his wife, the woman he stood up for despite every public humiliation and betrayal. And now, in the most agonizing way possible, the positions are reversed. When the hashtags returned to social media, they polarized people and became well-known worldwide. Then Rasheeda witnessed Kirk's reaction blow up. While some supported Rasheeda by pointing out that her actions were the result of Kirk's persistent falsehoods and straying homosexuality, others claimed that Rasheeda had finally earned retribution for all the years that Kirk had denigrated her on national television. "Yo, this is going to be the wildest season yet," Scrappy remarked in the cast group chat. Erica kept calling Rasheeda, but all she got were voicemails. "Before things worsen, we must gather everyone in one location. I think I really ruined this time," Rasheeda finally remarked in response. Erica said, "Girl, you better get your story straight because Kirk is already on the phone with lawyers talking about divorce and custody and protecting the businesses you both built from nothing." Rasheeda continued to cry as she recalled how their relationship started out as nothing more than love and ambition, evolved into clothing lines and reality celebrity, and ultimately collapsed in one reckless night due to months of conflict and expressed sadness. "Call me when you sort this out, baby," the stranger Marcus texted Rasheeda before sneaking out the back door to avoid any more trouble. "That crazy person isn't worthy of you." Even in the midst of the chaos, she understood Kirk was a complicated person despite his intense love for her, which only made her feel worse. As the morning broke over Miami, Kirk was driving aimlessly, calling his pals and yelling, "Dude, I caught her red-handed. Now what shall I do?" The sadness in his voice was sincere and unadulterated as Rasheeda sat in the hotel room staring at her mirror, wondering how one moment of vulnerability could destroy years of maintaining composure for the cameras, the children, and the fans who looked up to them as the ultimate power couple. Kirk received a notification on his phone from an unknown number that included a video that would permanently alter his life as he was stopping at a petrol station to catch his breath. The video demonstrated that this was a full-fledged affair that had been simmering beneath Kirk's nose the entire time rather than a one-time slip by showing Rasheeda and this new man laughing and touching in a more private setting weeks earlier. Because hidden in Rasheeda's phone discussions with Marcus and someone even closer to Kirk, someone who would make this betrayal 10 times more severe, dated back months, they were unaware that this was only the beginning. For Rasheeda and Kirk, who had established a reputation for weathering every storm, the stakes had never been higher as the drama was just getting underway. They were now drowning in the largest one to yet, with fans, relatives, and friends all taking sides in a disagreement that could destroy their legacy. The entertainment industry eagerly awaited the next explosive episode of this love and hip-hop nightmare for months. No one had predicted it, but everyone knew it was coming. Kirk's shocking reaction was about to go from rage to danger. I had seen her in a remote villa a few weeks earlier, laughing and kissing Marcus in ways that went much beyond a single moment of weakness. Her hands all over him in a scene that looked like pure passion and betrayal, Kirk said, slamming his fist against the dashboard as he watched the strange anonymous video attachment on his phone in the parking lot of the gas station. Tears of anger mixed with sadness streamed down his face as she repeatedly answered on the second ring, sounding worn out and guilty. "You seem to have spent a lot of time with him. When I watched the movie a few weeks ago," Kirk yelled at her before she could finish her remark. "Let me explain, Kirk. How long have you been lying to me, Rasheeda?" Rasheeda froze on the other line and added, "I swear, it started when you weren't around much and I felt all alone, but it was pointless." "Nothing," Kirk shot back, laughing angrily. "When you allow him to touch you in this way inside our own group of friends, you can't call it nothing because guess what? I just found out that Marcus knows Scrappy, so he's not even unknown. You decided to take a big chance even though he was a cast member, Kirk. I was upset every time you had another woman and made me appear terrible on TV. I just needed to be wanted again." Despite the fact that the cast was already mobilizing, Kirk hung up and drove back toward the hotel, desperate to meet Rasheeda. "We have to stop this before it destroys the entire group because love and hip-hop. Atlanta has never seen drama this personal, this destructive," Mimi and Erica said. Rasheeda's tears grew more intense, and Kirk was deeply hurt by her statement because he felt in his heart that his previous transgressions had caused this disaster. As they boarded a plane, when Kirk returned to the suite and saw Rasheeda packing her bags while her internet fans were speculating, It was a major surprise. She said, "Maybe we need time apart to figure this out," as she looked at Kirk. Some claim Rasheeda had been planning this payback for years, while others claim Kirk deserved it because of all his side ladies and secret babies. "No, we're talking this out right now," Kirk said, gently but firmly grasping her arm. "Let's give up running and stop lying." During their most recent heated dispute, during which Kirk vanished from the club for days with that dancer, Rasheeda disclosed the affair. He acknowledged that he suspected something but hoped it wasn't true because he still loved her beyond all else. They spent hours sitting on the bed discussing every disagreement, injury, and event that had led them to this moment. It appeared as though they may find a way back when Marcus's message, "I am here if you need me," sounded on Rasheeda's phone. As they grieved together and recalled their early struggles in Atlanta, their feelings briefly surged. Kirk rushed for his phone as soon as he understood this, reading further texts that revealed even more dire truths, such Rasheeda telling Marcus that she wanted to start anew and leave Kirk forever. The treachery hurt considerably more than it had before, so Kirk stood up and paced. "You were really planning to walk out on our family, on our kids, on me after all these years," he claimed. Rasheeda tried to explain that it was just a chat in moments of weakness, but the damage had already been done. The family disintegrated when their oldest child called in the middle of the night and heard the yelling. "Are the two of you divorcing?" The children were horrified by the question, even though Rasheeda reassured them that everything will be all right. But Kirk had to defend the businesses, the brand, and the legacy that people valued, so he went outside to catch his breath and phoned his lawyer just in case. "I always knew Rasheeda had fire, but this is next-level girl power or girl revenge, though she wasn't sure which," Mimi remarked while the other members of the gang in Atlanta recorded their confessions. Kirk told Scrappy, who claimed to know Mark, "Sir, you had a whole side situation ready to replace me," after hearing about it from mutual acquaintances. Rasheeda asserted that everything was completed, but as trust issues worsened, every conversation became explosive. Because of their close bond, they kept seeing each other even after all these years. In a taped group intervention, the performers expressed their opinions. "You know better than this, cheating ain't the answer," Erica said to Rasheeda. The media circus intensified as each tabloid published stories on Rasheeda and Kirk's split. In addition to wildly speculating about custody fights and who would inherit the mansion, cars, and company they established from love and hip-hop celebrities, fans requested the full plot of the upcoming season. Despite the family's renewed rift and the tense, accusatory, and tearful atmosphere in the room, there was a faint ray of optimism. As the days turned into weeks, the two tried therapy sessions, which led to more revelations. Kirk saw how his absences made her feel invisible, while Rasheeda realized how her secrets undermined his sense of security. The strong emotional pressures and personal stakes encompassed not just their hearts but also their public image, their financial future, and the stability of their children, making every decision feel massive. The most startling discovery was that, according to an intriguing package with text and pictures, someone in their close circle had been feeding the blogs and leaking the hotel tape to wreak revenge on each other. For a brief period, Kirk and Rasheeda became closer as they banded together to find out who had tricked them and declared that they were stronger than this outside noise. They began investigating, contacting people, and confronting them until they found a shocking reason. "How could you do this to us after we paid you well?" exclaimed a teammate who was jealous of their accomplishments. Rasheeda yelled as the event played out in the office like a movie. Kirk pledged to sue, despite the traitor's first denial, and the fans celebrated the power couple's possible comeback. But the healing process was far from finished. They decided to record their journey for the program, fusing vulnerability with the need to preserve their private moments while, as usual, turning suffering into entertainment. Despite everything, Kirk's unexpected reaction changed from intense anger to unshakable love as he battled to win Rasheeda back, arriving with flowers, an apology, and vows to improve. The entire entertainment business kept a close eye on Rasheeda, as she concentrated on forgiving herself and him for the cycles that brought them to this point. The plot was a roller coaster that kept viewers fascinated episode after episode as speculations of a reunion mixed with tales of new disputes. However, by acknowledging their shortcomings, going to sessions on a regular basis, attempting date nights once more, and protecting the children from the worst of the media frenzy, they both showed genuine personal improvement. Rasheeda was forced to publicly relive that trauma and wonder if she could ever fully move past it when old footage of Kirk in compromising postures from years before surfaced. This was yet another development. The arguments came up again. "I forgave you so many times," Rasheeda remarked. "Now it's your turn to show me that you can accomplish the same." As Kirk vowed to show it every day, regardless of what the outside world thought, emotions surged up once more. Friends decided to be impartial in the hopes of the best, and the family was no longer split. Little victories, such as a productive business meeting when they successfully finished a large contract as a team, accumulated over time and served as a constant reminder of their unstoppable power. Plans to file for divorce were still in place. Because of this, the stakes remained high. However, since love and history brought them together, the question persisted as the season finale drew near. Would Kirk and Rasheeda become stronger as a result of their awful hotel experience? Or would it only be the beginning? Every update was eagerly anticipated by millions of admirers who shared their own love stories and cheered on the couple who stood for pure, unadulterated love in the face of adversity. This three-part tale of unending love and hip-hop captivated viewers and sparked conversations around the world, leaving everyone wondering what would happen. As Rasheeda and Kirk stood at the crossroads of forgiveness and forever or farewell in separate paths, the drama revealed every flaw, every strength, and every subtle aspect of their love.